Guys, big breaking news coming out. Belarus has deployed Russian Oreshnik missiles on its territory to guarantee its security, the country's foreign minister said. At the same time, Zelensky asked the US president for Tomahawk missiles in private UN meeting. At the same time, hold on, it's not over. The US president told Ukrainian leader he was open to lifting restrictions on Ukraine's use of American-made long-range weapons to strike targets inside Russia. All right, so we're going to get to all this news here, guys. Once again, very important breaking news, World War III update. And you got Oreshnik, Tomahawk missiles, and long range missiles. So I don't see peace here, guys. I see imminent biblical war. All right, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. Alright, so these equipments are Armageddon stuff. Alright, so Oreshnik, you guys already know, Russia dropped this last year on November. Alright, and they sent a message to NATO and the US. That was the last time they fired long range towards Russia. That was the last time. Let's see what's going on with this one. So Zelensky urged the U.S. president to supply Tomahawk missiles, saying they could bring Vladimir to the negotiating table. By firing Tomahawk, I think that would actually piss the bear. Again, don't provoke the bear, because again, it's just gonna lead to harsh response. I do believe they're gonna drop Oreshnik instead of coming to the round table. The U.S. commander was reportedly amenable, telling Zelensky, we will work on it. A major shift from Joe's refusal. And there's a reason why, because Joe knows that giving Ukraine Tomahawk and then firing Tomahawk towards the bear could lead to huge biblical war. That's why Joe refused it. With a 1,500-mile range, the missile could put Moscow and even the Kremlin within Ukraine's reach. Yeah, but then we have to worry about the bear firing some nukes. The U.S. commander told Ukrainian leader he was open to lifting restrictions on Ukraine's use of American-made long-range weapons to strike targets inside Russia, but he didn't commit to doing so during a meeting Tuesday on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York, according to a senior U.S. and Ukrainian officials who spoke to the Wall Street Journal. Now, during the meeting, Zelensky asked the U.S. president for more. We need more long range, such as Tomahawk cruise missiles. Guys, Tomahawk is very powerful. That's very, very powerful. That's the one that that was used in Iran to finish off the nuclear facility. Donald, he sent the B-2 with the bunker busters and literally, again, just obliterated those facility. And then after the bunker buster, there were submarines out there, and they fired Tomahawk missiles, which finished off the facility. All right, so that's the last time Tomahawk missiles was used. It was on Iran. All right, so during the meeting, Zelensky asked the U.S. commander for more long range, such as Tomahawk, and approval for use such weapons to strike targets on the Soviet territory of the Bear. The U.S. commander replied that he didn't oppose the idea, but officials said the president didn't make any commitments to reverse a U.S. ban on such strike, though the U.S. commander administration is seriously considering providing Tomahawks and other long-range equipments to Ukraine, according to a senior U.S. officials and a senior European officials briefed on the plans by the White House. What are your thoughts? Leave comments down below. Leave comments down below. What are your thoughts on this? Should the U.S. give Tomahawks to Ukraine? Also, do me a favor, guys. Can you leave a comment in the comments box? Happy emoji face or whatever. It seems like a lot of people comments are disappearing. All right, we not doing it. We not. All right, we used to get like over 50 comments, and now we're getting like 102. I mean, we got like 4,000 or 5,000 views each video, but it's only 1 or 2 comments, which is kind of sketchy. It just doesn't look right. So you guys already know the platform is doing their stuff with decreased, and now it seems like the comments are being impacted. Again, this is happening to many YouTubers out there. It's a headache. It's just a headache. It is, and it's really messed up. It's so messed up that the platform is doing that. Okay, so let's see what's going on here, guys. So we do have a continuation of the Tomahawk. No, excuse me, Orishnik. Belarus deployed the Bear Orishnik missile system on its territory. Ukraine's reaction was swift. So Belarus has officially deployed the Russian Orishnik missile system capable of carrying nuclear on its territory, as announced by the country's foreign minister, Maxim Andrei, head of the Center for Countering Disinfo at the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, called this an information operation by the Bear, pointing to a failed launch of the system. Remember, guys, when Russia dropped the Orishnik, it didn't have no nuclear warhead. But this one here is going to have it. All right, it's going to have it. So it says here, Belarus has officially deployed the Orishnik's missile system on its territory. This was announced by the country's foreign minister, Maxim, as reported by UNN, with a reference to the Bear media and the head of the NSDC Center for Countering. Okay, so why are they writing this twice? According to Reznikov, Belarus was left with no choice but to deploy missile system capable of carrying nuclear weapons. He added that this was done to ensure national security. Confrontation and an arms race are not at issue, the diplomat said. Now, guys, I posted a video not too long ago that Poland is urging their Polish citizens to leave Belarus immediately. Leave. So they are putting out one of those travel advisory stuff. All right, so once again, it says here, confrontation and an arms race are not at issue, the diplomat said. Andrei, the head of the NSDC Center for Countering Disinfo, reacted to this. It says here, Belarus has hosted the Bear information operation called Orishnik, the second launch of which was unsuccessful. It didn't even take off on time, but the Bear didn't tell anyone about it. What? He wrote on Telegram. Belarusian leader Alexander previously stated that the Bear Orishnik missile system was already on its way to Belarus. The UNN also reported that Belarusian authorities confirmed their intentions to modernize their own Polonez missile system and are considering equipping it with nuclear warheads. Wow. Alright, so we're going to go with the next news here, guys. We're going to go with the some more of the Tomahawk. So from Orishnik missiles to Tomahawk missiles. So you got the US versus Russia. Alright, but here's the thing. And I'm not citing with Russia here, but Russia has the upper hand. That Orishnik will make Tomahawk look so bad. Tomahawk is very powerful, but Orishnik is a whole different ball game. It's a future missile stuff, hypersonic stuff. There's no missile defense system that could stop Orishnik. Tomahawk, I guess there are missile defense systems like the S-300, S-400. But if this thing is in a close range like Ukraine and 400 miles away from Russia, I mean, it's just going to be hard for the S-300 or S-400 missile defense system to stop those Tomahawks. Alright, so U.S. Commander Zelensky has asked the U.S. President, please supply Kiev with Tomahawks, long range. A request made during a closed-door meeting on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. The Telegraph reported on September 26. Ukraine has repeatedly appealed to Washington for long-range strike capability throughout the war, but the U.S. has so far declined to provide such equipment. Why? Because this thing will spark WW3. Alright? Again, guys, just imagine if Putin gives Cuba Orishnik and Cuba fires Orishnik at us. I mean, that would be insane, and we're going to go after the bear for doing that. Zelensky told the U.S. commander that the advanced equipment system... Give me a second here, guys. Give me a second here. Weapon system could help the bear leader Vladimir pressured Vladimir into negotiation for a peace deal. It's just, again, I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, guys, but I just don't see that happening. I'm sorry, guys. I got this OBS that's keep messing up right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just don't see that happening. So they want to fire Tomahawk towards the bear, and then Putin is gonna be like, okay, I give up. Let's work peace. I don't think so. Again, I just see the bear just responding with Orishnik, just like they did last time when long range was fired back in November 2024. The Ukrainian leader later said the U.S. president was open to the request, which, if granted, would give Ukraine the ability to strike targets deep inside the bear, including Moscow. We will work on it, Zelensky told Axios after their meeting, describing the U.S. president response. It says here, the Telegraph reported that the U.S. Secretary of State Rubio urged the European counterparts to view the U.S. president's shift on Ukraine policy as positive as possible. Rubio also said that the U.S. president was really angry with Vladimir for disregarding his attempts to end the war. Here's the thing, guys. Vladimir don't need to listen to the Donald. Again, Donald expect the world to bow down to him. Yes, we will stop. Yes, you are the greatest. Yes, you bring peace. Yes, you are. Again, Vladimir is going to be like, no, you're not going to do that to me. This is my operation. I don't tell you how to run things in Syria, so don't be coming to me telling me how to run things in Ukraine. It remains unclear whether Ukraine will secure the weapons. Now, the Tomahawk, with a range of up to 2,500 kilometers and a 450 kilogram, 922 pounds warhead, will significantly exceed the capability of any long-range system Ukraine has received from Western allies. Man. 922 pounds. Man. The former U.S. leader Joe rejected a similar request from Zelensky, deeming it too risky. There you go. And I hate to say this, I agree with Joe. At least Joe, Joe, again, You know, people didn't like Joe because of his, sending money and all that, but he didn't send like very powerful monster equipment. All right, and he knew that sending Tomahawk would be too risky, deeming it too risky given the missiles' potential to evade the Bear air defenses and escalate the conflict. That's what I'm saying. Those S-400 is not going to stop Tomahawk because it's way too close. It's too close. Suri, chairman of the Ukrainian Security and Cooperation Center, said Kiev's request was a natural extension of its evolving arsenal. If the Bear has long-range cruise missiles, then Ukraine must have similar capabilities to strike targets at the same depths. The request comes amid signs of a shift in U.S. President approach to the war, following his meeting with Zelensky on September the 23rd in New York. The U.S. President wrote on Truth Social that Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. I just don't see that happening unless the U.S. get involved. But if that happens, well, again, it's like Zelensky said, we need your sons and daughters to put on the camouflage. It says here the request comes in signs of a shift in U.S. commander approach to the war following his meeting with Zelensky on September 23rd. So we're going to skip that. The statement marked a sharp change from the U.S. president's previous comments, including an April remark that Crimea will stay with the Bear, and a peace proposal in August that included territorial concessions to Moscow. The peninsula has been illegally occupied by the Bear since 2014. The U.S. commander has since overseen a new NATO finance program to supply the U.S. equipment to Ukraine, with initial aid packages including Patriot air defenses and HIMARS rocket systems. Now he has also told European leaders that Washington will continue to provide arms for NATO allies to deliver to Kiev. The U.S. Commander Administration approved its first U.S. weapons aid packages for Ukraine funded by NATO allies under a new financial agreement or arrangement on September 16. Days later, the first shipments of military equipment under the prioritized Ukraine requirements list program arrived. There you go. We are seeing it, living it, and witnessing Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. So you got Tomahawk missiles, you got some again Orishnik, and then it seems like the U.S. commander is going to give the green light to Ukraine to fire some long range. We are seeing something here, guys, and it's not peace. It's not peace. This is not a drill. This is a preparation for biblical war, and it's about to hit the fan pretty soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time later. Peace.